So when I talk about tinnitus and habituation and finding relief, people often say to me, no, my tinnitus is too loud to habituate. I could never ignore it when it's this loud. And I get that. I completely understand that because I've been there myself. But that response is based on a set of assumptions that don't quite grasp the bigger picture of what's going on here. So I wanted to make a video to make a case for why I believe that it's possible for everyone to habituate, no matter what their tinnitus sounds like or how loud it is. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Obviously, if there was some way to just get rid of the noise, that would solve the problem. But right now, there's no cure for tinnitus, or even a reliable way to reduce the volume. So we have to approach this from a different angle. And if we take the sound out of the equation, the next problem that we run into is the way we react to the sound, emotionally, psychologically, and physiologically within our bodies. When a sound is bothering us, we can't tune it out or ignore it because it's impossible to tune out a sound that our brain interprets as something bothersome, dangerous, or threatening. And there's a good reason for that. We're evolutionarily hardwired to hear sounds that imply danger. You would never want to not hear the sound of something dangerous. The problem is that our brains can't tell the difference between an imagined threat, like tinnitus, and real danger. So our reaction is the same. We have this stress response, and it never ends because our tinnitus doesn't just go away. But we can change the way we react to the sound. It's the one thing that we actually have the power to change, and it's the very thing preventing us from finding relief. So you see, the human brain is entirely capable of filtering out meaningless background noise and other sensory stimuli from our conscious awareness with this mental process called habituation. And this happens automatically all the time. It's how we're able to carry on conversations in noisy places and why we aren't constantly aware of the touch of our clothing against our skin. And until there's a cure for tinnitus, that filtering mechanism in our brains, it's the best hope we have to find relief. So if you're suffering right now, I know it's hard to wrap your mind around this. When your tinnitus is very loud, it's hard to imagine how you could ever possibly tune it out or ignore it. But whether you realize it or not, you probably already have a frame of reference to understand exactly how this can occur, even at your current tinnitus volume levels. Because everyone with tinnitus has had the experience of being so immersed or distracted by an activity that it stops bothering them for a short while. And it doesn't always last long, but that's a taste of what it feels like to habituate. And if your tinnitus was too loud to habituate, you wouldn't have been able to filter it out at all, even for a second. So let me put it another way. If you've ever been so preoccupied by an activity that you didn't notice your tinnitus for a short while, then your tinnitus is not too loud for habituation to occur. Your brain's filtering mechanisms are working fine. You just need to change the way your brain reacts to the sound so that it can filter it out more of the time. Now, for many people, this process happens naturally over time, but you don't have to just wait for it to get better because you can train your brain to stop interpreting the sound as something threatening. And when you do, those filtering mechanisms can get to work and tune it out like they should have been doing all along, like they do in every other person who isn't bothered by the sound of their tinnitus. And look, I'm not saying that this is an easy process, but I am telling you that it's possible, no matter what your tinnitus sounds like. So if you're struggling, please don't give up, because there's hope, real hope, right now, for you to find relief too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn more about the techniques that I use to habituate, I've included several links in the video description below. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.